What's up, World Wide Web? E-Daddy, your angry guy. I'm back. A little older, a little wiser. And I know this ain't the toy show. However, welcome to another edition of Who Booked This Crap? WrestleMania 42 Night 1 edition. I know it's not exactly what everybody thought my return to streaming or podcasting or YouTubing it. It's not what anybody thought was going to happen, but you know what? And so I don't get in trouble by YouTube about the fact that the post show is still playing in the background behind on the TV back here behind me, here in the Angry Guy Studios. For anybody that's new to this, I usually or used to go through and talk about, review Masters Universe toys or some other toys, depending on what I felt like. And I'm going to go back to it real soon. We're going to call this the demo project. But anyways, we just come off of WrestleMania night number 1. So I'm going to go over this real good because I'm guaranteed I'm going to catch shit from somebody. Anybody watches this anywhere in the near future. I'm going to say this right now. We've 42 years of watching WrestleMania, even since they expanded to the night 1, night 2 setups. Undoubtedly, we've had some bad ones. One comes off the top of my head, WrestleMania 11 and 13 come to mind, just especially 11. But tonight, for night number 1, on paper, a lot of this looked good. However, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it right now. It felt like the whole presentation, especially with them doing the first hour on ESPN2 today, it felt like an AEW show where, they do like the first hour, like the after dark, or they'll have the matches for their pre-show on, I think it's here on YouTube or maybe HBO Max free. I'm not sure. Because I've never really been that big of an AEW fan. I mean, not that their product's bad or anything. I mean, I've watched it here and there, but it felt like, honestly, a lot of it felt like that was like pre-show, and it sucks too because of the fact that, honestly, Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu did a pretty good job with theirs. I wondered why we didn't get any blood in that. I figured we would. Didn't happen. I think with the buildup they've had between the two of them, they could have actually done a lot more if they had done a regular or actually just made a street fight and didn't do this thing of, we're going to put the first hour on ESPN2, and then everything altogether will be on the unlimited app, or for us to have Disney Plus, the whole package, we can watch the whole thing off of there. Now, no, I didn't start with the starting match because I got a lot of, I tell you what, I didn't care. I didn't care for the whole thing of, let's bring ISHO Speed into this. I mean, I know he's trained to become a professional wrestler. I get it. That's fine. However, making his first match to be at WrestleMania, no. Honestly, to me, the way that match went down and the, Speed making, as far as the story goes, making mistakes, pushing um, one of the opponents into Logan Paul, who was on the ringside apron, um, and then pulling their stunts away. It ends up Logan getting, or Austin Theory getting the BFT and getting pinned. Um, they could have left LA Knight and I Show Speed out of this. Nothing against LA Knight, and he did a fantastic job for what he was given. So did the Usos. Um, and so did Theory and Logan and Speed for that matter. But the whole match, it just looked like something that honestly could have been on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown or NXT for that matter. Okay. Um, there's a bunch of superstars in the back that would have loved to have had an opportunity to have been on the WrestleMania card and probably would have put on a match 10 times better than that. Then the whole thing afterwards, like, okay, why couldn't we done this during the match or something like that? It is what it is. I didn't care for it. I was like, man, what in the hell was the creative team thinking, putting this together? It didn't look good, if you were sitting there, tuning into ESPN2, to check this out and debate on, well, do I want to get the app? Do I want to watch? It would have turned it, if I would have turned it off. I said, luckily, Drew and Jacob, picked it up. So whenever they went into, okay, it's the end of the ESPN2 showing you this, unless you're on the ESPN Unlimited and keep watching. I mean, anybody that was trying to watch this for the first time and watching it on ESPN2 probably would have went, what, yeah, the first match sucked ass. Second one was pretty good, but so anyway, so honestly, I mean, what they call the show started. If you're on, for unlimited, and the Fatal 4-Way, Charlotte Flair needs to go back to using her old ring gear. She ain't got to use all these techno colors and all these bright colors and everything. She's Charlotte Flair. Rick, her daddy had his ups and downs, but you didn't see him doing stuff like this. Yeah, he changed the color of his trunks or his robe, but I was like, whatever. And I loved Alexa Bliss's outfit and everything, and the whole entrance Titan or Tron video up behind her. Nice homage to Bray Wyatt, without a doubt. They need to go back to using combo songs again, because Lyra and Bailey, I think they could have done something with that to make their entrance a little bit better. I was listening to the Pro Football Demon for a little bit on my phone from his YouTube channel, because he was doing a live thing as the show was going on. He's like, the Charlotte and Bliss's entrance was so much better than that one. And then of course, when Nia and Lash Legend come out, and honestly, I think Lash has got a bright future. I love their nod to Demolition with their outfits coming out, complete with the masks. They are all in white. Definitely nice nod to brand new minted Hall of Famers Demolition, which is something that's long overdue. Thank you, Paul Levesque, for finally getting that done. And then Bella's coming out. Nikki, of course, hurt. And getting to see Paige, return after all these years back to a WWE ring and at WrestleMania. There was something that Paige had said a couple weeks ago. I was down at Lexington Comic Con working it, and something she alluded to, I said, kind of made me think she's going to be back in WWE for too long. Did I really expect WrestleMania? No. Would I have expected her to come back and be teaming with Brie Bella and win tag titles? No, but here it happened tonight. Fairly decent match. There was a few hiccups and everything. You could tell, these 8 women, really not comfortable trying to work a fatal 4-way like that. There was quite a few mistakes there, but overall they got it together. Like I said, it's nice to see Brie make her return, wrestling at Mania and get the women's tag titles with Paige. It was nice to see. Then came the Becky AJ Lee thing match. One, WWE, if you're going to go through and have a live band going through and playing your superstars out, make sure they're actually singing. The lip syncing was so bad and so noticeable, it wasn't even funny. It's like you could honestly tell it's like the vocals had been piped in through the PA system throughout the entire stadium. I'm hoping that this whole thing is honestly over with Becky and AJ. I mean, nothing against two of them, and they could actually light it up. Or if they want to keep doing it, fine. But let's take Jessica Carr out of this because I'm really getting tired of seeing Becky going through and complaining, having this problem with Jessica Carr. Either that or Jessica needs to go ahead and get in the ring. I know she's a trained wrestler. Went and graduated from the 3D Academy. I hear Bully Ray or Uncle Bully. I've heard him before go through and sing the praises of how good she was whenever she was at his school, him and Devon's school. Fairly decent match. However, it's like you could see almost like the writing on the wall. The hell's going on behind me? Oh, Liv Morgan's on her knees trying to crawl ringside or to the table where everybody's at, trying to get Corey Graves to, I don't know. Anyways, got a feeling that probably ain't over, but I guess we'll see in the near future. God, why I keep feeling I'm forgetting something before. Oh, I'll cover that one here afterwards. Stephanie and Liv, I honestly think they could have done so much better with that one too, because honestly, they didn't need all the outside interference with Raquel Rodriguez at the end with Roxanne Perez. They didn't need all that. Those two were putting on a pretty decent match. It seemed like after that, it kind of diminished, the whole title reign that Stephanie Bakur had for the last 210 days. So I just was not thrilled, not happy, not with the way that went down. Once again, another match that could have went to Monday Night Raw. Now I was glad to see, Liv get it, especially, after, an outstanding Royal Rumble win. Something that was well overdue, well deserved for her. I think they could have done, let them do something a lot better. Because in fact, this is WrestleMania. Now, for the one thing that I could have also done without, and this was during the Seth Rollins Gunther match. Um, the attack before the match actually started, but then um, Braun Breaker at the end interfering. Because at that point, it was a pretty decent back and forth match. That honestly, I said, either one of these guys would deserve the win. But then to have Seth go through, and curb stomp Gunther's head on the ringside table. And he turns, he's on the floor. He turns around, and then there's Braun Breaker out of nowhere, spearing him, toss him back in the ring so Gunther could go through and basically hit that sleeper hold and put him out. Um, Something like that should have been saved for Monday Night Raw. And I don't mean any Monday Night Raw, I mean like the Raw after WrestleMania. Have two of them go at back and forth, and then they get into a verbal confrontation Monday, and then Breaker comes out. To me, it made a lot more sense than what it did. I keep getting tired of the damn glare off my glasses. I can't see my eyes. Um, so then we get to the WWE Championship match. Oh, well, I keep forgetting about Mr. Never Seen 17, and, well, we can see him now. John Cena come out there announcing 50,000 plus in the building. Now, WWE, I have a problem with that, and I will tell you why. Is because I want to say Thursday afternoon, I looked through multiple sites as far as the tickets go. And night one for WrestleMania had at that point sold a little over 40,000 tickets. So are you going to tell me that in let's see, from Thursday afternoon to Friday morning, and that right there, those numbers have been updated at least, or like not even 24 hours before that. So we'll just say in 4 days. Let's say if it was updated on Wednesday, so Wednesday to Thursday, Thursday to Friday, okay, 3 days. You also sold an additional 10,000 tickets for this. Look, come on, be honest with what the actual count is. I mean, hell, prior to the show starting, at the end of the pre-show, you can still see a lot of seats empty. Hell, no, first opening three contests, you could still see lots of seats empty in there. I didn't understand. I was like, whatever. John comes out there to say, it was 50,000 and 700 and something in attendance. Which I know is still down from last year's Mania night one. And then Bianca Belair comes out there. Of course, that's the reason why she's not going to be getting in the ring anytime soon, is she's pregnant. Congratulations to her and Montez on another addition to the family. like I said, I still have a problem with the whole numbers. And I ate prior to the show. So then we'll get to the main event. All right. And while trying to get all this up and going, caught some of the Busted Open After Dark WrestleMania edition with Coach and David LaGreca. By the way, if you guys don't have or can get a chance, subscribe to SiriusXM, channel 156, Pro Wrestling Nation. Every morning, from 9 to noon, you get Dave LaGreca along with Bully Ray, Tommy Dreamer, Mark Henry, Nick Nemeth, Bishop Dyer, Natalia, on the show. It's great to listen to. It's great from having, listening to the the retired superstars and the Hall of Famers and some of the guys that's still in the business, but they're working elsewhere now, to go through and give their input. And with Dave being basically a fan just like I am, to hear their take every morning, agree and disagree with what I hear. There was something with the WWE title match that I had to agree with them, is it needed to be taken out of the equation. And it took them about 27 minutes to get the bell ring, but they got rid of the equation during that 27 minutes, and that was Pat McAfee. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm a football guy. I love watching football. As a lot of my friends know, I'm a Chargers fan. But overall, I do love the sport of football. McAfee was one hell of a kicker for the Indianapolis Colts. Without a shadow of doubt. And he's a great color commentator. But the way he's been the last few weeks and them inserting him into the match, it didn't need to happen. And using Jelly Roll to help take him out of the equation for the start of the match, great. That way, eliminate both those two out of there for the time being. Now, I was reading something online before the match even started, and it was the fact that I'm going to turn this off because I'm getting tired of looking back. That Randy was hurt. His back was hurt. I don't know. Randy missed a significant amount of time here not too long ago, a year and a half. He missed back surgery, stuff like that. And I know when he came back, there was a few times he did some stuff that I don't think I would have done. And I've got back issues to where, since the last time I did any of these shows live from this studio, I've taken a job where it's a lot easier on my body. Do I hurt from time to time? Yes. Do I have stuff to take for it? Yes. But from physicality standpoint, there's no way, from knowing what Randy went through and everything, that he should have even attempted what he did, but I get it. Now, this match was definitely, it kind of, I look back as the Shawn, when Shawn faced Stone Cold, Shawn had his back all screwed up, but he still showed up for the match at 14. Prior to being gone for 4 years. I know Randy's at that point in his life, he can't afford to be gone for the next 4 years. But you can still tell, yeah, he's probably still going to be in a little bit longer. But in a way, this was almost like, it was like a one-sided affair, and you can almost definitely see the writing on the wall that Cody's turning heel before too long. It's just the way he was acting. And he did a great job with it. And Randy, even without the back issues, you could tell the adrenaline was hitting him, so he could go through and perform, to the best that he could, even with the injury. Then having McAfee come back out with a referee shirt on and a damn neck brace, I'm like, dude, what the hell? There ain't no way you've already been diagnosed in 30 minutes and you need a neck brace already. Especially considering the fact that all happened to you was, other than the crossroads, that you got, an elbow hit on you from Jelly Roll to crush the table. Now, I know Jelly Roll's not no small guy, but at the same time, he ain't no big guy anymore. And you can tell the work that he's doing down at the Performance Center, the diet he's on, he's looking great. Having come back out and Randy getting the last word, and actually, at least RK owing him before he got hit by the crossroads. It didn't feel like and I don't know if it's just because of Randy's injury, but overall, it didn't feel like a WrestleMania type match. Definitely a PLE match, but WrestleMania, no. And then having him go through and having Orton punt Cody afterwards, you can tell they're setting up, this ain't over. But hopefully the whole thing with McAfee is. Overall, like I said, it may not be the popular opinion. It may be the unpopular opinion. But it's my opinion, and this may go down as one of the worst nights for WrestleMania. I don't know if I would quite call it WrestleMania 11 bad. And that was bad. But it's awfully damn close. I really hope that night number 2 tomorrow night, I honestly hope they deliver a better night than what they did tonight. Because otherwise, we're not going to see the numbers as far as in crowd attendance and people wanting to go to these shows and everything. I know the next one's like, what is it, Backlash in Tampa or some shit. What's the chances it's going to be sold out? I know they said something about the end of this month. They're going to be putting tickets for SummerSlam nights 1 and 2 up for sale. This kind of shit keeps up. What's the chances they're going to be filling up the stadium there in Minneapolis? And then considering the fact that you got to look at next year's WrestleMania. Of course, a lot of people ain't going to be going because TKO has broken the golden rule for Mania and is taking it to a foreign country. Canada, I don't consider Canada to be a foreign country because they're still here in the continental United States, or continental, here on the continent. But taking it over Saudi, especially with things going on now, and I don't see it getting any better, especially by next year, they better have a good contingency plan. I don't care what the higher ups with TKO and all that shit, what they want to say. They better have a fucking contingency plan. Same as they better have one for the Saudi show. I think they're supposed to be doing in June. Hear that, or cancel that damn thing, because it ain't gonna happen. But anyways, that's what I wanted to do tonight. I want to do the whole night 1 of Who Booked This Crap. Honestly, everybody, things could have been so much better. but we got what we got. Like I said, there was some decent action, but there was. I'll just go ahead and say it. The one thing that's missing is them doing house shows, doing live house shows. So these stars can go through and work on their stuff, especially a lot of these newer, a lot of the newer superstars there. They need to honestly do a lot better job. Either that or WWE needs to start, TKO needs to let them start hitting the road. Even if it's like one or two house shows through the week. They do it in Europe. They let them do house shows in Europe. They need to do it here. Because you can tell a lot of them needed the work. Let them do the work so they can try to make some of this stuff, look a lot better on TV. I mean, for God's sake, we're on ESPN. And TKO, you don't want to let them do it? Fine then. Keep running this product in the ground to where you're going to have to sell this shit. And I'll say it right now. I was one of the biggest people that hated on Vince. And no, I do not care for a damn thing. I kind of hope he fries in hell for what he did in his personal life. But get somebody like him or get some people in there to buy a place that knows what the fuck they're talking about. That knows what the hell they're doing. Or TKO, Ari Emanuel, whoever's dealing with this shit, step the fuck back. Let Paul Triple H Levesque do his thing. Let the people there do their thing. They know what they're doing. You can tell here in the last 6 months, you guys have been stepping in more, and the product is starting to show how crappy it looks. Step back and let the ones who actually know the wrestling part, them do what they're doing. If you guys still want to do whatever you're doing with UFC, that's fine. You guys were fine with that. But this, step back. Anyways, that's it for the WrestleMania 42 Night 1 edition of Who Booked This Crap. Tomorrow night, shortly after night number 2 is over, I will get back on here. Hopefully I can get on a little bit sooner after the show ends than what I did tonight. So in fact, like I said, it's been, God, I want to say probably 5 years since I did one of these. It was a little, I was a little rusty. However, I get done here, I will probably be doing another video for the whole toy thing, just to give everybody a preview glimpse of the studio. I know you can see some of it in the background behind me. Probably set a lot of this up in a different, or set this up in a different spot, so way everybody can see what what's going to be going on, how the studio looks now. But anyways, that's my take on everything from night number 1. It was rough. It was rough, y'all. So hopefully night number 2 goes better. And I think it should, considering the fact that what did they say? They're going to start out with the 5 or 6 man ladder match for the Intercontinental title, and then Brock versus Oba in the first hour. That's going to be airing on ESPN. Before they get to the other matches like Rhea and Jade Cargill. The world title match between CM Punk and Roman Reigns. The United States title match between Sami Zayn and Trick Williams, which there's a match that don't need to be on the card. And none against Sami Zayn, but they should have left the title on Carmelo and given him the opportunity. I know there's been something slow building there between Sammy and Trick, but still didn't need to happen. Not at Mania. But anyways, I will see everybody on tomorrow night after night number 2. I'm gonna say it's peace. I'm out.